Well, I've been through every single thing I can think of, besides maybe catalytic converters clogged up, maybe the intercooler's clogged. Really don't think so. I think given the nature of the thing that sometimes I can't get it to trip the code, I think this little piece of shit is leaking and causing my underboost. So given that I was going to give it a tune anyway, I went ahead and got one with an EGR delete because where I live, there just doesn't matter, right? They're not so strict about these things. So I'm going to pull this off, block it, throw the tune on, and then see how long it goes without giving me a code. That's really the only way to tell at this point, because I'm sure as shit not buying a new one of those. I wonder how much coolant will come out of this thing. And I got some more, so it's not a huge deal. And I kept this cold. All I did is start it up to pull it up here from lower in the driveway so that I can get right at it. Make sure, because I want to see, I'm really curious if it will idle nice and not like smoke like crazy once this is done. If it does, then I'll be sending the injectors in for sure. If it doesn't, then I might wait until this winter when I know I'm not going to be using it for a little bit, like in January, and then send them out. Yeah, we'll see. God, I don't like coolant. He was dribbling already. Make it a little bucket. There we go, 45 calories per serving of coolant. Oh, maybe glass isn't the best idea, but yeah, there's not that much in there. Better than it being everywhere, though. And me thinking that there's some kind of leak. Will that stay there? Maybe? Cool. Ew, it's on my fingers. Son of a monkey. Alright. I wonder, too, if this housing is aluminum. I was going to weld the fins in place, but I may be SOL. I may have to glue something in. I'd hate to have to wait and find out tomorrow. Like, I want to get this back together and know for sure tonight. So hopefully it slides right out after our hammer time. Don't grab it by the plastic, you dingus. I'm sure the silicone's holding it quite. God damn it. Come on. Alright, not pee. Also not beer. Don't drink. Okay. So let me get something to give that a little whack, separate that silicone. Much more cooperative. See, like, it's closed right now. You wouldn't think it would be leaking. Over the bench. Okay, here's the end of that EGR, right? And it opens and it springs back shut. I just don't see. I'm not completely convinced that this is my boost leak, but hey, could be wrong. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this part is. Nope, that's not magnetic. It's sure as shit not stainless. So this is all aluminum. To think of something. My buddy's dad put a freeze plug in his, but it also fell out and he had to like screw it in. I don't like that idea. I mean, I don't want to have to screw it in place. So we'll think of something. Took this valve out. All I did is drill from the other side, which would be in the top here where that big ball metal is, and then aluminum plate. Had a buddy at work that's a much better welder than I am, take it on. So I guarantee this EGR is not going to leak anymore. And now the giant ball of weld on the top, I don't think was necessary. It was just like, well, it's not going to hurt anything to be there, just in case. But this is where that coolant passage is on the top, right? So there's a plate in between them. So I'm going to get some RTV on there to make sure the coolant passage seals, get this back in place without any electronics anywhere near it. And it should just be a plug at this point. So never have to take the EGR out again because there's no way it's leaking anymore. I do wonder what seals here. Yeah, like if they were worried about it, they would have put some kind of thing in place. But yeah, so I put that blocked off EGR in, and it coated very quickly coming out of the house, just like it does once in a while. Super frustrating, but I figured it out. So I'll show it. But I think the van's gonna be here for a hot minute while I get parts and things. So I need to get the bumper, I want as close as I can to block as much rain as I can, so I can work on it on nights like tonight where it's really just like gross and cold and nasty out, without getting too wet. I don't mind the cold, but I do mind the wet. Well, sometimes. All right, so not the same, but still a turbo. This is the one for the Jetta, cobwebs and shit. And see, like I got a little bit of wear on my edges. The corner's a little round, but really nice and tight, right? Not really much gap on the sides. It just looks like a turbo. This one looks like a hot, hairy fucking mess. I probably won't be able to even see my camera angle, so I think it's good enough. But check out. I have a picture of my phone. Maybe that'll be the way to do it. I'll see if I can zoom in. But there's a giant gap. The corners are round. It's all worn out. Looks like somebody basically put it in a sandblaster until it was worn to nothing. So the amount of pressure that thing still made amazes me. It needs a turbo. We'll get a turbo ordered, and then while that thing's in the pipe, we'll pull these ejectors. I'm going to send them to Williams Diesel in Florida and see, because I think I'm going to predict right off the bat that number 2, the one that threw me a misfire code once, is going to be leaking into the cylinder. And that's why it's such a shitty idle when it's first started, because I think what's happening is you shut the engine off, there's pressure in the rail, and it's bleeding out through this injector, pooling up on the top of the piston. When you start the thing up, it just runs like shit. And once it's hot, it doesn't care that injector has a shitty spray pattern and it's leaking. It just gets along fine. When those injectors are out, I'll steal the bore scope from work and make sure that everything inside looks okay. But yeah, it's now that I know the turbo is the culprit, it's worth throwing more money into it. So we'll do injectors, do the transmission, get the seats all dialed out, get the floor ready, get all this crap glued to stuff. It's pretty exciting. Alright, so spraying stuff down, just so we can make sure we can get it apart. We're going to hit the clamp. Yeah, let's get it everywhere. Because the only reason we're going to start this up at any time I need a new can of this shit, in the future, will be to pop the injectors off of their seals. And let's be honest, with the amount of miles in this van, those aren't the original injectors. I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue getting them out. Yeah. Oil stuff up. And these are Garrett turbos from the factory, right? That's the OEM supplier. And I work for Mala, and they make a new turbo to replace this for a pretty decent price. I don't know what my price will be. I get warehouse pricing, but I have to go through HR and get a quote and all this other crap first. So I'll find out, and I'm not sure how public I should make whatever my price is, but I'll figure that out. If it's way, way cheap, I'll just kind of hint, and that's all I need to spray at what my price is. But the important part is that there's a couple options. And what I was told, I'll post this video about when I filmed it. So we're looking at today's 21st of October, 2021. The company guy that I talked to said that they only have new turbos in stock. If I want something now, have to get a new turbo. They also sell remans, Garrett remans that Mala rebuilds, and center housings, but they won't be available until February 2022 for whatever reason. Now, I did ask them, and they said that the Mala center housing, or center, what the hell would you call it? Yeah, so center housing, center cartridge, according to the old interwebs, it just doesn't matter what you call it. Same thing, but the part that you see here, well, when it's dark out, can't see anything. You dummy. So below these bolts, right? So you got the compressor housing, the hot side housing, whatever the hell you want to call it, turbine housing, and then there's the center part where your oil feed goes, and that's what holds your fins, where mine's all worn out on both sides. That thing, the part that spins fast and is balanced, you can buy that assembly separate. And I've seen a few weird, even Dorman makes one, like you can go to AutoZone and get a generic, made in who knows where, and throw it in for like $350. If those are $350, I gotta imagine the ones I can get from my company are even cheaper for me, not for the public. But they did, per email, confirm with me that the center housing / whatever that they sell is a remanufactured Garrett unit, so they do fit. Like if you buy a Mala Turbo that's reman, it's a reman Garrett. I don't know what the new ones are. I think we probably manufacture those. Like they're not manufacturing Garrett shit, right? But if I just bought that center section and used all my parts, it would be a Garrett part and it would fit to a T. So a little bit of advertising, I guess, in there. I don't get a bonus from it, but this thing, I don't know what its history is. It's a reman, so it's not the original, so it's not that old, but I think for the price, I'm just going to end up getting a whole new turbo.